The United States is wielding its tariff stick, seemingly under the impression it can dictate the rules of the global trade game. However, China has fired back with a swift, precise, and forceful counterattack, delivering a firm response to its counterpart. In this tariff showdown, who is emerging as the actual winner? On April 2, U.S. President Trump signed an executive order imposing reciprocal tariffs, levying duties reportedly as high as 34% on imported Chinese goods. This move was an attempt to reshape the global manufacturing landscape through trade pressure. However, this act of dominance triggered strong countermeasures from China. Beijing not only quickly introduced its own tariff hikes but also implemented several targeted measures. These included suspending the export licenses of some U.S. companies, imposing controls on rare earth exports, and placing multiple U.S. firms on an export control list. China's response was not just swift but also highly strategic. For example, it maintained an exemption window for goods shipped before April 10, a move that both upheld procedural norms and allowed crucial space for market adjustments. Concurrently, China took aim squarely at core U.S. sectors like agriculture and manufacturing, ensuring America's economic vulnerabilities were directly impacted. The pace and intensity of these actions not only underscore China's capability to navigate international trade disputes, but also send an unmistakable signal to the world: China will not bow to unilateral pressure tactics. Meanwhile, signs of disarray appeared within the United States itself. The Treasury Secretary, note, the original text mentioned Bezant, which seems incorrect. Likely referring to the Treasury Secretary at the time, seemed to hastily distance himself from the tariff policy, making statements that raised eyebrows. Economists further warned that this tariff conflict could impose an additional $600 billion annual cost on American consumers, while the tariff burden on U.S. allies also saw a significant increase. It appears that Trump's strategy of using tariffs to effectively harvest benefits at the expense of the global community is facing worldwide resistance. China's counteractions, therefore, are framed not just as defending its own national interests, but also as upholding a fair international trade order. Ultimately, the U.S. approach of wielding the tariff stick risks becoming a case of inflicting 1,000 cuts on the enemy while suffering 800 self-inflicted wounds. But looking beyond the immediate conflict in this trade war, who will truly have the last laugh? Do you believe China's countermeasures possess the capacity to thoroughly disrupt America's strategic plans? We welcome you to leave a comment and share your perspective.